Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Afternoon Tune. I'm your host, Josh, and today I got a special guest co host, a very, very special guest, always a great guy, Chris from the Black Stubbs podcast. How's it going there, Chris?
I'm doing. Can you hear me? Yeah,
Yep.
I'm doing well, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for doing this show with me on such a short notice. Something came up at work. I got to leave for 20 days on a work trip. So I can't do a show Friday like we normally do. I can't do a stream then. And we initially had this stream planned, me and you, for Saturday, but couldn't do that. So I'm going to be gone there again for that time. So that's
Were-
why.
Weren't you just in England?
Yes, I was just in England. That was vacation. That was vacation, though.
Oh,
But this is for work there. But
man.
I'm still gonna be in the States though.
Okay, man.
Yeah,
Mr. Worldwide. That's crazy.
yeah. I'm still gonna be. I'm just going to Cali. That's all it is. I'm just going to Cali.
Nice. I love California.
Yeah, good old sunny California. But we got some good reviews, some stuff that's been in the backlog for a minute, and then some newer stuff here. So, Magazine Dreams, I watched that way back. I watched that weeks ago before. I think like beginning of April. I think I saw that. Or I think that movie came out March, right? March like 18th or something.
I saw it. It's opening weekend. Like, let me open my letterbox.
Oh, crack open the letterbox there.
Anyone? What the hell? What do you mean sign in? Stop logging me out. I hate
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Letterbox always does that. Even when I hit remember me, it still requires me to sign in. I don't know
Please.
why it does
Thank
that.
God. All right. Magazine Dreams. So technically, it came out like in the film festival circuit last year. So if I scroll down, like, where is it? Why is it buried? Hold on. Where is it at?
It says Wikipedia, so March 21st,
March 21st.
and it's Sundance. It premiered 2 years ago in January.
That's what it is. That's all the way back here.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yes, I saw it March 23rd.
yeah. So then Jonathan Majors lost his fucking mind, and then they were like, oh, "Okay, we got to shelve this," and then it finally came out a couple years later.
Yeah, it was originally a Disney movie. It was Searchlight.
Yeah,
And they dropped it because Disney dropped him. And the film was in limbo for a while, and Zeus I think picked it up.
yeah. Zeus, the good old Zeus Network. That's where did people talk about that show Baddies? Is that what that show's on? Zeus.
Baddies. I just know that's where all the social media comedians kind of flocked to just, I guess, when work wasn't coming consistently, they wanted their own platform.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's the case. Like, I
Okay.
think the owner of Zeus is like one of those. Yeah.
Like what King Bach or somebody like that?
Yeah, like one of those guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. But yeah, so it's finally out there in theaters. There, well, actually not anymore. It's probably not in theaters anymore. Probably on streaming, people can watch it. But we're gonna be giving a review of that, and then also getting a review of a film you can still see in theaters, The Wedding Banquet. Chris put me onto this movie. It's a movie starring Lily Gladstone. People might know her, Killers of the Flower Moon, Killer Marie Tran. People might know her, the Star Wars films there, Rise of Skywalker there, The Last Jedi there. And yeah, gonna do a review for that. Um, and maybe discuss. I don't know if you'd help me discuss a little bit of this news here. Sinners is killing it, and a lot of people going like, "You niggas can make money? Why is that? Hold on, that's not supposed to happen. What the fuck is this?" So a lot of people a little shocked about the success of
Yeah.
Sinners. It seems like, and
There you go.
the success of that, but it's been killing it. Original film, one of the best money making original films in over a decade, and also a horror movie. You add that caveat to it. So it
Like,
has been.
it's like it's the first horror movie to get an A cinema score in 35. Was that what it said? 35 years?
I believe so. Did you see that on Discussing Film, or was it
Yeah.
Culture for you there? Yeah, I'll try to look for that one.
Yeah, it's like the first horror movie to get an A cinema score since a while. Yeah, it's been yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Uh, but yeah. Chris, let people know about you, man. What you got going on? What you got coming up next? All the good stuff, man.
Yes, I am Chris of the Black Stubs. Uh, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Type in the Black Stubs. You should see my face. Um,
This is your smiling face right there.
yeah. I just started Andor. Season 2 is back. Peak Star Wars is back, and it is fantastic. Um, I love it. It's just grounded, realistic, um, every day in the Star Wars universe kind of Star Wars, and it's great writing. As an aging Star Wars fan, it's what I want. I have nothing against uh, Jedi and lightsabers, and like I still love that cool stuff too. But the politics, when Star Wars takes the politics seriously, you get Andor, and this feels like if HBO or at this point Apple TV did a Star Wars series. It's great. I love it. Um, and tomorrow, keeping the ball rolling, the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Um, I was born 94, so I'm the perfect age for the prequels. I was 10 years old when I saw Episode 3 in theaters, and I cannot wait to see it again on the big screen because after Empire Strikes Back, it is one of my favorite it is my second favorite Star Wars movie of all time, and it's like right below Empire Strikes Back.
And then you got Hayden Christensen right here. He's helping with the
That's
marketing.
yeah, that's my boy right there, Hayden. That's my guy. Uh, Gen X and the generation before, they got Mark Hamill. They got Luke. For me, it might be a red flag, but Anakin's my boy. I love Anakin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, he's helping with the marketing for the 20th year anniversary re-release of the movie. There,
Yeah.
we might do a review for it. I'm gonna probably do it when I get back, since it is that. So I'm gonna help do a review for that film there. Hayden Christensen, though, yeah, he's ever since that, a lot of all the former Star Wars actors from the prequels have come back to reprise their roles there, except for Natalie Portman. She's still the holdout.
We'll
Natalie,
see. She might be in Ahsoka season 2, maybe.
yeah, so
We'll
still
see what they
Natalie.
do.
Yeah, see what she does. I'd love for her to come back there. But yeah, so you got that kind of going on. Chris is a great content creator there. Love having him. Love his reactions there. He watches everything, film, television, all that good stuff there. If you can think of it, he is reviewing it, reacting to it there on TikTok, Instagram, the Black Subs. Check him out. Great guy there. Yeah, got a lot of great stuff here. I've been meaning to check out there as well. Yeah, I still have to finish Moon Girl. I have to finish Moon Girl. I have to
Oh yeah, yeah, for
finish
sure.
that. That's really great there. But yeah,
Now you can. The show's over,
yeah, that's sad. Yeah, they ended it. Yeah,
but we still have Invincible Fight Girl.
mm, true. Yeah, we still got that one. So that's still up there. Who Chris helped me review that on this show, and people want to look
Great
up that
show.
review.
Highly recommend. First season's on HBO.
Yeah, watch it while you can because they taking all them cartoon shows off there, so you better watch it while you can there too. But yeah, awesome stuff there. All right, there. So yeah, we just got that little bit of news with Sinners, then these two reviews, and we heading out here rating somebody. Who's on right now? Grimlock is on. He's doing some art. Let's see. Rena Goddess is on. She's playing Marvel Rivals there. So just doing that. So yeah, some good people we could rate after this stream there. Awesome stuff. All right. You have a preference what you want it first there, Chris?
This is your show, my friend. Whatever you want to do, that's what
Uh,
we'll do.
all right. Let's go ahead and do the wedding banquet. Let's do that.
All
Uh,
right.
let's do that. I'll queue up that review and we go ahead and get started on that. Very awesome, though. Have you seen Sinners a second time?
I have
Okay.
this time in IMAX.
Okay. Did that change your experience there?
Um, the jump scares that I knew were coming got me because of the sound. Like it shook. Like it wasn't like a 4D. Like my seat wasn't shaking, but like it was the room like rumbled when like the very beginning and all the like Sammy, that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I really
So
want to see it again. Yeah, so when I come back, I'll definitely watch it again there. Because just yeah, one of those movies I think benefits you watching it
yeah.
again. I think it definitely
Okay. The movie Sinners has achieved an A cinema score, a first for any horror film in 47 years history of the organization.
will. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you send me that? DM me that?
Sure. Let me see if I can.
Mm, yeah. So yeah, DM me that for our discussion later on about Sinners. There. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
See ya.
So all right, let's get this review for Wedding Banquet started. All right, so our first review of the day is going to be for the film The Wedding Banquet. The Wedding Banquet is a remake of the 1993 Ang Lee film there. People might know Ang Lee. He did Brokeback Mountain. He's done the Hulk film there. So he had a film that was like one of his very, very first films, actually, was 1993 Wedding Banquet film. Have you ever seen 1993's Wedding Banquet there,
I
Chris?
have not seen the original. Going into the movie, coming out of the movie, I found out it was a remake of a '90s of film of a very similar plot. The gentleman is a gay man and he's enjoying his life in America. Relatives are saying, "Hey, it's been a few years. We let you do your thing. What's going on? Okay, we're coming. We're coming now. Like you have no time to prepare." So he has to like either ask a friend or find a woman to be his um put on this facade that he's marrying a woman and he's staying in America. So yeah.
Yeah.
um um
I don't know.
it's
Looking at this woman, I
yeah,
mean, he didn't turn back to the other side. He was like, well, maybe being straight, maybe I want to rethink it. I don't know. This woman pretty fine in here. So
yeah,
yeah. So yeah, you're right. So it's a very kind of similar premise there that you got here, except for a gay man as the lead, you have a lesbian woman who's the lead here.
yes.
Um, and the lesbian lead in here is Kelly Marie Tran. In this, people might know Kelly Marie Tran. She was in Rise of Skywalker there. She was in The Last Jedi there. And she was also the voice in the cartoon Raya. She was in that Raya the Last Dragon as well.
I love that movie, by the way. I'm glad you mentioned it. I love Ryan the Last Dragon.
Yeah, good old Raya there. You also have Lily Gladstone there. People might know Lily Gladstone, who plays the girlfriend of Kelly Marie Tran there. People might know her from Killers of the Flower Moon. And both of them are trying to conceive a baby there. Well, actually, one of them is trying to conceive a baby, Lily Gladstone there, through IVF, and they're struggling. In the movie, you see that when on their second attempt of IVF, it failed, and the doctor is recommending, well, usually we only recommend to people 3 times is the number of attempts you wanna do, and plus the high cost of doing IVF, which I looked up after the movie. I was like, "Well, how much it is cost to do IVF?" And it's like $12,000 to $30,000 there to do it, so it's a very expensive procedure. And so you
Because
have
you're inserting an embryo, right? Essentially.
Uh, yeah, because it's like
Yeah,
the sperm and the egg, and then you're turning into the body,
yeah,
and then that, and then I think if it gets more expensive if you want to like build a baby, if you want to pick the gender and the eye color and all that other stuff like
yeah,
that, it gets all kind of
yeah.
fancy there.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, so they're on their second attempt. It failed. They have to do a third one. So they're trying to debate whether or not they want to do an attempt to do a third one or not. But lucky enough, they have two gay men who live in their. They call it a guest house, but it's a garage. They live in a garage. Like they call it, it's like, oh hey, they're sleeping in our guest house. Like this is a fucking garage here. But they have two gay men. One who played by Bone Yang there, who people might know. He is a recurring cast member on SNL. He's been in some other things. He was just recently in Wicked Part One. There, he was the lackey of Ariana Grande's character
Mhm.
there, and then also he have his boyfriend in there, who plays Han Ji Chen, who plays Min there, who's his boyfriend. And it turns out his boyfriend is really rich. Comes from a very rich family in Korea there, and he has his grandmother there, Young Jung there, who people might know. She was the grandmother in Minari, and she won an Oscar for her performance
Yeah.
as the grandmother. And it's kind of a similar situation where he has to put on a facade there of pretending he's in a relationship with Kelly Marie Tran. And it's like a deal that gets worked out between them. It's like, hey, if you pretend to be my wife and, well, actually, not even pretend, we are going to actually go through with the whole thing and get married so I can have a green card so I can stay in America. But this Trump's America. That won't work now. He's like, nah, you ain't staying no more. Nah, that ain't
I
working.
don't care if you're married. You're both leaving.
You're both leaving. In fact, both of you go get out. But yeah, so he tries to work out a deal. So he goes like, I'll pay for your IVF if you help me, kind of pass this thing with my grandmother, stay in America. And obviously his grandmother and grandparents are very old school Korean, very kind of traditional, conservative. So
Mhm.
he knows they wouldn't approve if he did get married to a man. Um, and then I forgot to mention one of my favorite people of the cast right here, who I think really is very stellar in this movie, Joan Chin, who I saw in Dee Dee there in that film. I loved her in Dee Dee. I thought she was robbed. I thought she should have got nominated for
For
her performance.
sure, absolutely. Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, I thought she definitely should have got nominated for that performance there. But yeah, she plays the mother of Kelly Marie Tran. And from the trailer there from this movie, you think it's kind of more of an upbeat, kind of wacky type comedy of errors a little
Yeah,
bit.
like a millennial rom com.
Yeah. But no, there's a lot of crying in this movie. There's a lot of confrontation. There's a lot of
A lot of
characters,
drama.
a lot of drama, kind of drama
Yeah,
for your mama there. Two mamas there.
yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah.
definitely a rom dram, more than rom com.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But Chris, what are your thoughts on the wedding banquet?
There's humor sprinkled around, but yeah, going into it, very similar. Um, I saw.
What? Is
Whoa,
everything all right? Is
am
everything all
I,
right?
am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, my screen went black for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
I still see you.
Um. Yeah. So this past weekend, I saw Sinners and Wedding Banquet, and then weekend before I saw Warfare, and for the same reason, I was attracted to the cast. I love Kelly Marie Tran. I love Lily Gladstone, who I first met from Reservation Dogs. She was Willie Jack's. They say like two different like relationship like names. Like, oh, this is my cousin brother. So like she was like her sister auntie or whatever. So that was my introduction to Lily Gladstone, and then um, Killers of the Flower Moon, a film I didn't love, but I loved her in it, even though she was bedridden for like an hour of it. Um, Whatever. And then Bon Yang, yeah, he's like one of the stars, like one of the shining stars right now of SNL. There's always like a shining star in the cast. He's in like other things, and yeah, the grandma from Minari, and yeah, the mom from Dee Dee, the entire cast. I loved it. And I loved the film. I was just surprised. I'm in the theater thinking this is not that funny. This is really dramatic, and so as an audience member, I'm watching something. Me personally, I've never been persecuted or felt like othered because of my sexuality. So that's an experience I'll never have. So, there were things going on in this film that I knew I couldn't personally relate to, but I could empathize with. So and like I said on Letterbox, it's still very millennial. These characters are late 20s, early 30s. Um, Lily Glaston's character, getting into light spoilers, she's the older, she's later 30s, which is why it's harder for her to succeed with carrying a child, because um, the biological clock is a theme throughout the
Mhm.
film. Mommy issues, or issues with your parents, trauma, is a reoccurring theme, and with and then with the two guys, it's approaching married life, getting cold feet. If you love them, why can't you say yes when they ask you to marry them? And then also parenthood. Light spoilers. Kelly Marie Chan's character has second thoughts eventually about kids when when she's drunk, and she tells Lily Gladstone, what if he took the money and traveled with it? Lily's like, okay, you're drunk, but no, like I thought you wanted to have, like, we want to have a family. We wanted to do. So I thought that was all really well done. I was just surprised by how not that funny it was, but I still gave it 4 stars, and I still really enjoyed it. I want Kelly Marie Tran and Lily Gladstone to star in more things. I'm glad, for me, this was, as a fan of them, this was a big win because of what they've been, because of their last big projects. They kind of got the short end of the stick in a way. Um, I'm glad Lily did well that award season. She didn't win the Oscar. It went to Emma Stone for Poor Things, which
Mhm.
I get it. It's a great film, great performance. But yeah, I definitely want to see Lily Gladstone and Kelly Marie Tran star in more things because they're great. They're really talented.
Mm. Yeah. They are. And there's a lot of crying in this movie. There's a lot of that kind of going on there. Characters storming off, characters arguing with each other. You see a lot of that. And it's just just life, and these characters kind of living it, and kind of sometimes the harsh reality of that. And it being a movie there focusing on gay characters there, and like I said, it has that kind of presence of there of the family that isn't accepting, and then you also have that contrast there with Joan Chin's character, who she's a super ally. She got an S on her chest. You know what I mean? Like she even at the beginning of the movie, she wins an award for how great of an ally she is to LGBTQ people. And you see later on in the movie that of like it's kind of an overcompensation there of why she is kind of so really that rah rah with LGBTQ
Yeah,
people, and it's kind of in a way she kind of failed her daughter with that. And there's a lot of moments with that, and
yeah, because
the
it wasn't
combination.
always the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't always the case. She wasn't always supported by the when she first came out. She didn't have her mom's love or support.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of great moments with them. Those are probably some of my favorite moments in the movie there, between the two of them. And yeah, just the relationship between, kind of all four of the main kind of cast, these two couples there and trying to work through their things. I think that was pretty interesting to watch as well there. And to see like with Yang and his relationship there of, do I really want this? Do I not? They've been together, I think they say what, for 5 years or
Yeah, yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
And then it's like, okay, but and then it's kind of like, okay, the shit will get off the pot. I mean, what you doing here? At this point, and it also kind of doesn't make any sense because it's like, the fact that they even live in that garage because like he's got money and he works for his family's company in
mm,
America and they're in Seattle. So I don't know why. I mean, I get rent in Seattle is expensive, but you got enough money. It seems like to live
yeah,
a much better place
yeah.
than that. I don't know why they're living there, but okay.
He's trying to
Um,
stay humble.
I guess so. I guess that's the way you do it there. Maybe it feels cozy, I guess. You know what I mean? I guess it feels like that. So I really like that in the movie. And when it the movie doesn't really go because I've never seen the 1993 film, so I don't know how much
Mhm.
they deal with a lot of the shenanigans of, oh, I'm gonna go through this marriage with this woman and we're gonna do all these comedy of errors and what I mean, trying to keep up the facade of that. But
Mhm.
here they don't really do it that long, really, to
Yeah,
be honest. They cut halfway through the movie, they're just like, okay, listen, the grandmother shows up. She's not stupid. She's like, all right, something weird. What's happening? And they kind of just break it down. And it kind of gets, like I said, it doesn't really waste time a lot with that stuff there.
yeah,
There's still some funny moments in the movie, I think, that still work and still do
mhm.
a good job there. But like I said, if you're expecting more of a comedy, you're gonna be in more for a drama there. What do you think?
Yeah. And it did remind me a little bit of Crazy Rich Asians, where a big issue was because the grandma in this film asks um, like one of her first questions is who's her family, like does she come from wealth, like is she on our level, like because in Crazy Rich Asians that was a big point of contention, like well who's her family, oh she's an average Joe, oh that she's a gold digger, no it's genuine love, but she's not part of this crazy rich Asian world. She's a teacher at a university in America. She doesn't, so just that cultural parallel, it does matter to them, in that culture. Um, you know, are they like us? Do they come from wealth, or are they, you know, lower tier? Not like us. So I, that point that stood out to me for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah. And it's a large ensemble cast of Asian people without Michelle Yeoh. So
Yeah,
you got that kind of going on. And I love Michelle Yeoh. I love Michelle Yeoh. I love her. But
yeah.
yeah, it's like it feels like what's a black actor that you could compare that to? Like always, like anytime there's a black film, you always see this black actor.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson. Yeah, that's a good comparison.
He's
Michelle Yeoh, is
he's in
Samuel
everything.
Jackson.
He's in
So
everything.
yeah. But I thought this film, as sad as it is, I thought it was still delightful. Um,
Yeah, that ending was crazy.
yeah, it was a little bit of a
The- the-
wild
the-
ending.
I'm like, wait, so how does this work? Who y'all? One of you have three parents. Like, like what? Like, I don't know who, but I haven't done the math yet. But that's a funky family tree.
I mean, they're gonna do a lot of explaining when the kid gets older. Yeah,
Seriously, yeah,
you'll have to
like,
do a lot of explaining there.
yeah.
Um, yeah. Uh, so what will be your final thoughts and rating for a wedding banquet?
Um, yeah, just the trailer was a little misleading. I thought it was gonna be like a Seth Rogen type of comedy, like not quite Joyride, but like a really kind of like I guess a raunchy comedy. I was expecting, but it was very mature, and very relatable for people, you know, my generation who early 30s and you know making their way, still figuring it out. Millennials, that generation. Um, so yeah, in that regard, I really enjoyed it, and it was again great to see. Um, the, oh, I need the names. I don't want to keep saying the grandma and the mom from yeah. Let's
Joan
see,
Chen and
Joan Chen and Yoon Yu Jung. Yeah, uh, seeing them again is great. I also want to see them in more things. Um, you know, I love Michelle Yeoh, but which is why I love Everything Ever All at Once. It was so different from her always playing the regal matriarch of the family.
mm,
Whether if it's Crazer's Asians, Shang Chi, or even Crouching Tiger, she's always playing this regal, poised character. So playing something so drastically different was great to see. But I would love to see Joan Chen in more things and Yoon Yu Jung in more things because they're great.
mm,
So I gave it 4 stars. It it wasn't so basic. I'd give it 3.5 because if it was okay but kind of basic, I give it 3.5. But like if it was good, if I'm like no, that was good, I liked it, I give it 4 stars. That's what 4 stars means to me. 5 stars is just like I'm blown away. But I give it 4 stars because I liked it. Yeah, I have no complaints. It's a great also great runtime. It's like an hour and 40 something minutes.
mm.
It's great. So what is it again? You have like cinema,
Uh, and then peak. So you
and
would give it 4 stars. Peak.
so what's below peak?
Tune in.
Tune in.
Okay. So you want to give it like a high tune in?
A high tune in. Yeah, high tune
Okay.
in. Yeah, no. It's not peak. No, no. It's good. I liked it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So you give it a high tune in. Strong tune
High tune in. Check it out. As I said on TikTok, if you're in the mood for something mildly triggering because it's so relatable, uh, check out The Wedding Banquet.
in.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, I'd be right there. Maybe not a high tune in, but a good tune in. I think with this movie, I
yeah,
think you win for some good times and good performances from the actors. Like this stage in people's lives, these 30 kind of somethings there, trying to live life, trying to figure things out there. With that, I think that was good to see. I think that's always kind of good to see there, to see on screen, and it's some good moments in here. I mean, dramatically from the actors and some good scenes in here that'll stick with me. There, especially that scene with Joan Chen and Kelly Tran on the bathroom floor. Like that was, I thought, a kind of a good scene there as well, strong scene, and the scene at the dinner table as well. Um, yeah. So it's a solid movie. And I just give it a tune in for me. Go check it out if you can in theaters now. The Wedding Banquet. All right. Very good. Very, very good. I thought that was cold blooded, man. That grandma, she was like, "I never love, I never loved." She was like, "Man, that's cold blooded, man. Jeez, oh man, oh wow, that was cold blooded. Jeez. All right, let's cue up this magazine dreams. Let me go ahead. This. All right. So our last review of the day is going to be for the film Magazine Dreams. Magazine Dreams is the movie there starring Jonathan Majors. Now, this initially came out a couple years ago. They made it through the film circuit there, premiered at Sundance. It was supposed to come out last year there, but there was an issue with Jonathan Majors. There was that controversy that happened there, situation he had with the woman, and then the assault, and then he was found guilty of that. And then that's when he started being dropped by his talent agency. He got dropped by Disney. He was playing Kang. He's going to be the new big Marvel villain there of the next phase of Marvel movies. That fell through. And then this was also a movie that initially was a part of a Disney subsidiary production company there, Searchlight. And this movie got dropped from there. And then it kind of bounced around for a minute. And then it ended up finally at a place there. I think so. The production company that it finally went to, this got distributed by Brer Cliff Entertainment, and this production company. This it got distributed by them instead. Um, and what is this movie about? So, it's a movie about a guy that is slowly deteriorating. There, he's a bodybuilder, and he wants to be a professional bodybuilder. And he looks up, especially to this one particular bodybuilder that he idolizes and respects, and holds in such this high regard and wants to be him. And then you see in his room, he's got all these pictures of all these other different bodyguards there as well, and it's just kind of, the trials and tribulations of this guy. And you're seeing his life there, and how rough it is, and how kind of dangerous it is at times for him just to live in society. When you watch this movie, I think the immediate comparison is going to be something like Taxi Driver with Rob De Niro. That's going to be the immediate comparison. If you've not seen Taxi Driver, then maybe you've seen the Gen Z millennial version, Joker, I guess, if you haven't seen that. I will say right off the bat, Jonathan Majors is amazing in the movie. He is absolutely fantastic, absolutely amazing. This is really his movie. There's other characters that come in and out of it, but it's mainly just you're watching him and following him throughout all of it, and seeing kind of his life. And yeah, it's just mainly him carrying it. And he does a great job at carrying the movie. And it's a fantastic performance. And in a perfect world, without all the other stuff that kind of went on there in his life, should he be nominated for this? I absolutely think so. For Best Actor, it's one of the best leading performances by an actor I've seen so far this year. I expect it to probably be the top leading performance I see by an actor this year. I don't see anything really topping this. To see how much pain, trauma, mental anguish that he puts all into this, and you can't help but think a lot of, because of, you see what his real life and what happened there, that drawn into that, and then putting that on screen to watch this with this character. Yeah. What are your thoughts there, Chris, on Magazine Dreams?
So before I saw Sinners, Magazine Dreams was my favorite film of the year. Despite the controversy surrounding it, which is going to bury it. Well, it did bury it. It barely made a billion a million. I'm sorry, $1 million at the box office. Um, and yeah, it's not getting nominated. I don't think it's gonna get any mention during award season. This is too much dirt on it. Um, but I gave it 5 stars on Letterbox. It is in the same vein as Taxi Driver, same vein as Joker. It's a character study. Jonathan Majors, Killian Maddox, his character, he's on screen 99.9% of the time. It is his story, and we, the audience, are just watching him and his mental state just unravel. Um, he has a goal, and when it comes to this goal, he has tunnel vision. He can't see the damage he's causing to the people around him as he's just heading towards, being on the cover of a magazine for bodybuilding. Um, he gets told, um, we get the information that at a previous competition, a judge said his deltoids are too small and his legs are too small, and that stuck with him. And now he's obsessed with getting his deltoids bigger, and He's obsessed with like trying to add mass to his legs, but he's struggling. But it becomes his unhealthy obsession. Joker, there was a unhealthy obsession. Taxi Driver, there was an unhealthy obsession, and yeah, Jonathan Majors is fantastic in this role. It's just a little. It makes me wonder. Everything he was accused of, and then found guilty of, um, and then seeing what his character does in this movie, just the parallels to the the word of like aggression and rage, and then that audio that came out a few weeks ago, that was like the nail in the coffin. I'm like, yeah, like there's no talking around it, no arguing. Like, yeah, you did that, you aggressed her. um yeah, like he like yeah, like that's it. um
And
so
this article came out like a couple days before the movie came out, so it
yeah,
was like it was like, damn. I mean, just when you
yeah,
think like maybe he can start gaining traction again and kind of doing the comeback, it's like this comes out and he was like, "Yeah, I aggressed you," and it's like you choked me. He's like, "Well,
you
yeah,
took
that falls under the definition of aggressed." Yeah.
yeah. Bro, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So hearing that and then seeing this film, I'm like, it's a great performance, but how much of yourself are you putting into the role? Like, how much of this is just you? That was kind of, I can't lie, that was kind of the thoughts I was having a little bit. But the performance here, as again, Killian Maddox, it's fantastic. From this to Last Black Man in San Francisco, and um, what's the
Creed.
Creed, the Western on Netflix.
Oh,
How do they fall?
yeah, the harder they fall.
How
Yeah.
do they fall? Yeah, he's one of those actors he comes from theater and he doesn't phone in anything. Like I don't know if this is like wild to say. He's like, I know, like, he's Jonathan Majors, but like he reminds me of Adam Driver. He takes
Mhm.
the craft very seriously, and he'll never phone in a performance. He'll take everything he does seriously, even if it's a cash grab, so he can do another indie project, or like if you're Adam Driver, you'll do a big Hollywood movie, get your millions, then go do some theater, in New York. That's what you want to do, because you are an artist. You're not there for the Hollywood glamour,
Mm. Yeah.
And if you've seen Jonathan Major's fashion sense, he's not about the glamour. This man dresses
Dresses like
like
he's in Sinners. He dresses like he in 1930s
like
Mississippi.
it's 1932. Like the hats, like the shoes, he dresses like a 17th century poet. Like son, yeah. Uh, um, yeah. Yeah, so I was blown away by the film. It had the same kind of anxiety-inducing energy as like the Safdie brothers films.
Mhm.
Like there's a moment where he's on his way to a competition, and he gets there's some consequences for some actions he did early in the film, and he goes into that competition all beaten up and bloody, but he's obsessed. He thinks he doesn't understand right now. I'm not presentable. I can't do this. All he's thinking is like, did they call me yet? Did they call me? Okay, I'm coming. I'm like, dude, look in the mirror. Like, yeah. So for me, it's fascinating as an audience member, and it's enticing just seeing someone unravel and like make these choices. I'm like seeing someone so unaware, because they can't see beyond their goal. To me, when that's done right, when that's executed right, and you have a strong performance leading it, yeah, it's great. I'm pretty sure I gave Joker like either 4.5 or 5 stars too for the same reason. Just it's a great character study,
Mm,
and it's now my second favorite film of the year.
mm, yeah. Now I wasn't too big on Joker myself because of just like okay, this feels like lesser Taxi Driver, and even though I compared Taxi Driver to this movie, I still think this movie does kind of its own
Hmm.
thing and has its own feeling and really led by this kind of great performance by Jonathan Majors there, and also you have this really good deconstruction of there's so much talk now about men and the male loneliness epidemic and the male suicide rate and we need to help men and all that and you see kind of like this character kind of personifies all that and you see that with him in this and I mean, he's kind of like an incel. I mean, really, that's what you kind of got here, with his kind of and just his search for connection and longing, and like I said, he's only driven on this one particular thing of being this kind of bodybuilder there, and it's just like, it's such an uncomfortable movie, and it's a movie I was looking at my watch at, not because I wasn't enjoying the movie. Sometimes I look at my watch and go like, "Oh man, when is this movie gonna be over?" I was looking at my watch with this movie like, "Man, this is just I'm so uncomfortable right now. I want to get out of here." And then the way the movie kind of goes just further and further, like you just see his life just gets worse and worse and worse, um and it's just like, what's gonna happen? And the movie, kinda teases, like, is he gonna do this? Is he gonna do that? Is he gonna this is what is he gonna do here? And it's just like, man, just at some point I was kinda getting mad at the movie, man. Like, just do it already, man. Just do something because I was like, just getting to that point, man. Like, Jesus, I was getting stressed out just watching this. And you're right, that's a good comparison of like the Safdie brothers movies done things like Uncut Gems and Good Time and everything else,
Yeah,
like that kind of just such that tense energy throughout the whole movie and you kind of have that here. Yeah, I mean, this is a fantastic film. I mean, really watching it. I mean, it's a film that it's on those list of movies with me that I go like, great movie, never want to watch it again
yeah.
because I just this is like I never even want to watch it again. With that, and it's just a movie that um the way it ends. I mean, I guess you could. I don't want to spoil anything. I guess it's the best outcome you could maybe hope for with a movie like this. I guess, and so you had at least that kind of going for it. Um, so yeah, I give this movie high peak to almost close to this is cinema. What about for you?
Real quick, this is what I wrote on Letterbox. That I give it five. I give it 5 stars. So like I was blown. This is a I was blown away. I was blown away. I wrote The Tragedy of Jonathan Majors. Brilliant film, brilliant performance from Majors. Unfortunate that the contents of the story felt so close to home, for him. How much of what we saw in this film is just great acting? How much of what we saw is just him? This is my favorite film of the year so far. That's what I said before Sinners came out. So yeah, um, yeah, just seeing the rage, I'm like, how much of that is
Yeah.
just him? Yeah. Um, but yeah. So you have this in cinema and then Peak.
Yeah, yeah. Peak is
Uh,
below this is cinema. Yeah.
okay. Hmm. I think I'll give it a high Peak because if I say this is cinema, I think anything that is cinema should have replay value.
Mm,
Something you truly enjoyed. Like this is cinema. This is something I want to see again. If that makes sense. And yeah, well, this is one of those films like Uncut Gems. I don't want to see Uncut Gems again. Um, um, the Devil All the Time, Tom Holland and that Netflix film a few years ago.
mhm.
Tom Holland and
Robert Pattinson,
Pattinson, um, um,
the dude with that big ass head, the Easter Island head.
Sebastian Stan, and yeah, just a lot of people in that movie. Dark, really dark. But again, I watched it because I love the cast, and I never want to see that movie again.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
High peak.
Yeah, yeah, I'll give it a high peak.
Okay. All right. So high peak from Chris, high peak from me from Magazine Dreams, and you'll notice a lot of similarities. I mean, between something like this and, like I said, Taxi Driver Joker. There's even moments where he sits down with like a counselor and has mandatory, meetings where he goes and speaks with her.
Yeah, and he lies to her.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and she's very great in the movie. That actress, she's a veteran actress. Harriet Sanson Harris. There,
Mm.
veteran actress. You've probably seen her in a bunch of stuff there. I'm looking at her filmography. She was in Licorice Pizza. She was in that film there. If people remember. So yeah, so those are great moments there with her and that. So yeah, yeah. It's just like you said. I mean, can't just get over the fact like, yeah, how much is like him drawing from, his real life and kind of bringing it into this. It's like, yeah. And this movie's directed by Elijah Bynum
Mm.
there, and I think this is his. I want to say this is his directorial debut. I want to say with this. Oh no, he directed another movie called Hot Summer Nights, which came out in 2017.
Mm.
It was with Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to see what this guy does next. Hopefully, it can be a new big burgeoning black director there. We need more of those guys. More Ryan Coogler's, more Jordan Peele's out there, more Barry Jenkins out there. So
More Ava DuVernay's, more Nia DaCosta's.
yeah,
Uh,
more Lee Daniels.
yeah.
No, not him.
More F. Gary Gray's.
Yeah.
Um, more more Spike Lee's.
running out of black directors. He like he trying to reach back into the catalog, like trying to reach far back.
More Tyler Perry's.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not. No, no, no. No. We don't need more. We don't need more of him.
Oh man, but yeah. So I look forward to see what he does next. Maybe he's gonna hit the indie movie to big budget movie pipeline. He's gonna get called from Disney. He's gonna get a call from somebody to do a superhero movie or something like that. Maybe. Blade. Maybe they're on their like 10th, 50th director. So maybe give him a call and like, hey man, we need you.
They're gonna ask. They saw Sinners. They're like, Ryan, can you do Blade? Like no,
Yeah.
no.
Wouldn't he be offered to do like before it blew up? Like, wouldn't he be offered to do like one of the Kang movies? Like, wasn't he being offered that, or was it just the guy from Shang-Chi?
I think he was rumored to be doing one of the Avengers movies because he was just successful.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, I
I don't
think.
know. I don't
Yeah,
know how true that is. But yeah. So Magazine Dreams, people. Watch it at your own risk. There.
yeah.
It's
It's dark. It's dark.
it is pretty dark. It is pretty bleak. Yeah, it is pretty bleak there. Yeah. Do you think the movie's Magazine Dreams? Do you think it's positive for men to see it masculinity wise? Do you think it's
Um, mm, Masculinity wise.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people raving about that show, Adolescence, and they want to show it to young kids and like school and everything like that about that. I mean, this is when you wouldn't probably show this to little kids, but
No, no.
maybe college age.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Definitely. To athletes,
Mm,
because he is taking performance enhancers, and that definitely adds to his psyche unraveling and his brain kind of frying and just becoming less and less of a decent and in control human being. Like that scene in the third act near the end of the film at the diner. Yeah, that was I was like, yo, this man's unraveling.
yeah. And that actress who played the one who worked at the store, Haley Bennett was the actress. Jessie. Um, there. Oh, I remember her. She was in Magnificent Seven. Oh, she was in that movie. She was that.
Is that the actress who he went on a date with and like scared her off?
Yeah,
Yeah, again, great scene, but like so I'm in the theater so uncomfortable because it was uncomfortable. Like
yeah,
yeah, his obsession, again with the deltoids and his legs, and then she didn't know there was a
Brad.
bodybuilder.
Yeah.
There was a bodybuilder who he really admired and like respected and wanted to like he idolized, and because she didn't know who he was, he was like, "What? You don't know?" I'm like, not everyone is in your world, dude. Not everyone has a, but he doesn't. Like the things that he doesn't like. It's a over simplification to say socially awkward. It's clearly there's layers to it. And those layers, you know,
Yeah. I mean,
peel
when you
off as the film progresses.
Yeah, I mean, when you learn about his backstory and what happened to him as a kid, and then, I mean, it's a whole host of like mental issues on top of mental issues
Yeah,
that's kind of going on here, and like you just see her like kind of just squirming there. I mean, you see that
yeah,
kind of happen. So it's like that's really great there, performance by her, and just that. I mean, after this scene, she's not she's not in the movie anymore.
no,
There.
yeah,
So yeah, so that's just this scene was really great too. Yeah, and
yeah.
just I mean his strict regiment too of like eating maintaining all the calories and all that other things.
Protein, calories, yeah. Like the amount he has to eat because how much he works out, and like he wants like plain chicken, just grill it, don't season it, just yeah, yeah. And then like when the waitress says, "Hey, your friend she had to go," he's like, "Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, she told me that. Yeah, that's fine." I'm like, dude, that kind of stuff is even that's like uncomfortable to watch. I'm like, yeah, he's right there. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then he kind of binge eats. He orders like a hell like a lot more food.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
like kind of his coping mechanism is
yeah,
like binge eating. Like you see him eat like burgers and onion rings and ice cream and cake and pie,
yeah.
and he just sits there just eating and eating and eating. And it's like, geez.
Even though earlier in the film someone offers him soda, he goes, that that makes you fat. No, like soda that makes you fat. I drink
Uh,
water. He's very again, yeah. It's like there's layers to it.
mhm. Yeah. So fantastic movie. I recommend people checking it out
Yeah.
there. With that. All right. Let's get into some of this news, and we'll head out of here. Raid somebody. Double Toast is on. Double Toast is on right now. Cosmopolitics is on right now. It's Cosmopolitics is on right now. Double Toast, I think Corey playing a video game right now. I think he's video game playing there. So doing that. All right, go ahead and raid some of them after this. Oh, are you gonna watch The Accountant 2 and Till Dawn and do a reaction for that?
Um, Probably not. Let me see what's happening next for me outside of Revenge of the Sith. I'm definitely gonna talk about that for sure. What's next? What's next? What's next? So what's coming out soon? I think the next thing I'm gonna see is probably the Thunderbolts. That's coming out May 2nd.
Mm, yeah.
So next weekend. Um, so this weekend I don't know what I'm seeing. I might see Sinners again for a third time. Um, I could talk about The Accountant. I saw the first one. I just didn't talk about it. Like I didn't review it or at all when it first came out.
Mm, okay.
Because I think when it first came out was what 2016, 2017.
Which movie? Oh, I'm sorry.
The first Accountant film.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that was a minute ago. Yeah.
that was before I had Letterbox, the first movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Do a
yeah. So
retro review for The Account.
so so before Letterbox, I was just sharing my thoughts on Twitter. But I remember liking The Accountant, the first movie. I thought it was good. I thought it was good action.
Yeah, decent action. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's one of those movies where it's like if you have autism, you got a superpower. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You're super assassin. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, sure, why not?
yeah.
But yeah, all right. But let's get into this little bit of news here, and we'll wrap it up. All right. So, Sinners. We all some sinners, man. Sinners is blowing up right now. People are watching it, raving about it. This film here and loving it. A plus cinema score, as you said there. or a cinema score, and also highly critically reviewed, praised. Audience score is high on this movie, and box office wise, this is getting good numbers. Well, to some people, maybe the box office is looking good. To some people, maybe not. I'm going to be getting into that. But yeah, it's just cool to see, man. This is an original film directed by Ryan Coogler. Great cast in this. We reviewed it. You were on for the review of it. Our review just posted today, actually, of the film. If people want to check that out right now in the afternoon on YouTube.com. I've already seen it once. I want to see it again. There, that's how much I liked it. And it's kind of tough sometimes because all these movies come out, and
Yeah.
you kind of get behind if you go see a movie again. Sometimes it's tough to find that time. But this is a movie I think is worth going to see again. But yeah, Chris, I know you've already given your thoughts on the movie, but just one more time. I mean, again, what do you think about the success of Sinners there?
This is my favorite film of the year. This is Ryan Coogler Unleashed. He got to do exactly what he wanted to do, and it shows. This is $90 million, and it's all on screen. This is Michael B. Jordan's best performance. Um, it's marketed as a horror movie, but it's so much more. It's layered with history and culture, and yeah, I I don't like. I usually don't gravitate towards horror movies, and the first act plays as a historical drama, and then we get to the uh, horror aspect when the sun goes down, of course, and yeah, this film just there's different tones, different things going on, different messages, different historical context, and it all works. It all works. Even Haley Steinfeld is doing things. We've never seen her do before. She's been nominated before for True Grit, but she was a minor back then. This was a very adult role. This movie itself is very horny, and yeah, 5 stars, and yeah, I am so happy with all of its success at the box office. I think 46 million domestically, 68 million globally as of like the weekend. Oh, or is it there? It is right there. Yeah.
So it's Ryan Coogler's Sinners is outperforming almost every single horror movie from the past decade, earning 71 domestically already, projected to pass 100 million domestic by Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah, so awesome stuff there. And I
As
love the
oh
first.
that's as of today, as,
Uh,
as of this morning.
Yeah, because this tweet came out, 9 a.m. about 9 a.m.
Nice. All right.
this morning. So yeah, that is the updated box office there from
Updated. Wonderful.
updated stuff there. So it is, yeah, like I said, it is killing it. But variety, people, you know what I mean. Much as the killing there, they almost said like, well, there's kind of a little bit of an asterisk with it because it's like, is it really that successful? To which some
Mhm.
people called out. So this is the tweet here, and even it got even more traction because Ben Stiller himself, there, Mr. Fokker, he came out there himself to talk about this, and this is what he had to say here. So the Variety article, it says their headline here on Twitter reads: Sinners has amassed 61 million in its global debut. It's a great result for an original R-rated horror film. Yet the Warner Brothers release has a $90 million price tag before global marketing expenses. So profitability remains a ways away. There's what they say. And then you have Ben Stiller, who's quote tweeted. He says, "In what universe does a $60 million opening for an original studio movie warrant this headline?" So a lot of people are talking about like this unnecessary kind of downing this movie of like it's a success, but not really because it has all this money to make up the marketing and all this other stuff. What did you think about that headline there?
I I believe wasn't the first thing they said was like the word choice was a pretty solid opening, like the first thing they said before
Before
some,
that one?
yeah, like variety. They also said like oh Sinners had a pretty solid opening, like it's solid, but even the word choice, it's along with the headline that we're talking about now, it's belittling, you know, black filmmaker, predominantly black cast, finding success, and you want to downplay it. essentially. You want to belittle it because that's because the Hollywood and the industry is racist, and we've known this for a very long time. Um, we don't get a lot of these movies for that very reason. So the fact that it is in theaters and it's doing as well as it is, and Ryan Coogler is just free to show his passion. I think that 10-minute video of him explaining the different formats and how you can see it best for depending on what you can afford was just a really great, inclusive, and accessible thing to do. And I think a lot of people gravitated towards that because not nowadays a lot of people are on the internet. I think a lot of people saw that 10-minute video, and just I think that really helps here, um, along with it just being a great film. So this headline is absolutely ridiculous. If this was Tarantino, or I don't know, if this were Damien Chazelle, a filmmaker who's same age as Ryan, and they're kind of their trajectory was kind of similar as they both were making their hits, going bar for bar as a one might say. Um, Variety would be praising this. Wow, a staggering 60 million opening for an original. That's what they would say if it was anyone else, but because it's a black filmmaker and an all black cast telling a historically black story, they want to downplay the success, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately, in Hollywood.
And somebody brought up, you mentioned the example of Quentin Tarantino. Somebody brought up, comparison to how you talk about maybe a movie with a white director. So they talked about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which roughly same budget there as this film there. It's an original film as well. And they said, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood starts strong with 41 million debut there. Start strong 41 million there with that. And that had roughly the same budget as Sinners there as well. So it's just a different, and I mean, different. And I just want to see if it's the same writer also who wrote those two articles. I just want to
Yeah.
see that as well, because he wrote this article. Rebecca Rubin is the one who wrote that article there for talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and that weekend there. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, yeah, I don't understand the necessary need to, kind of down it in that way. Like I said, original film, strong kind of opening there with this. It's a lot of people are loving it across there, and it just feels kind of unnecessary. And you had this huge reaction to it of everybody going like it's first, 3 days, of this. This is literally the opening weekend of it, and it looks like it's going to continue the success of it. It's not huge amount of competition going in. Like I said, there's the accountant too. There's Until Dawn, but it looks like it may maintain its number one spot in the box office there as well, which I think I'm really happy about. And it's just encouraging people, hey, go see it again, there, give your money to it, support it. What do you think about the recent kind of rash of original movies? Because we had this, we've had Drop, we've had Novocaine, we've had a lot of that kind of going on.
Again, if for those who complain about no originality in Hollywood, and I'm tired of reboots and whatnot. Right now is a good time to go to the movies. You have Sinners, you have Novocaine, you have Warfare, you have Death of a Unicorn. Is Mickey 17 still playing? Maybe near somewhere.
No, it got put on Max. Yeah.
Oh, it's on Max now. Okay. Um, the Wedding Banquet. There's still some good original stuff playing right now, so it's a good time to go to the movies before summer comes in and we're getting smacked with blockbuster franchise like Jurassic, DC, and Marvel.
Mm.
So right now there's The Accountant, there's Minecraft. That's probably going to branch out into more because it's successful. The Amateur, Drop. Uh, there's a re-release of episode. Well, Star Wars is a franchise, so never mind. Even though I love Star Wars, yeah, still there's a lot of good stuff out right now that's original, and you can check it out. It's playing in theaters.
So it is the same woman. So both women. So she wrote both articles. She wrote the one for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and she did the one for Sinners. So she's the one that did both articles there for that.
We should be
For
fired.
damn, she should be fired.
We should-
This is her right here. People. So yeah, she's Rebecca Rubin there. As a
Mm.
senior film and media reporter covering the box office streaming service in Hollywood studio at Variety. She previously served as digital news editor. Rubin graduated from the University of Florida. Damn, yeah. So give her our whole information there. But yeah, it's just kind of strange there. But it's good to see people they rallied around this movie and said like, hey, like it's the opening weekend. It's doing well. People are loving it. Go see it. Really kind of strong showing. So, um,
like what did they say about Damien Chazelle's Babylon? Did that give like that movie didn't do well? Like, did they praise it? Like, wow, his latest film is amazing. Even you know,
mm, yeah. Let me see. I don't know. Let me type in Variety Babylon box office. Let's see what they said about that one there. I see an article saying Margot Robbie baffled over Babylon flop. Can't think of it. Watch
okay,
movie.
so they acknowledged that it did not do well financially.
Yeah, so they're doing that one.
All right. What about Steven Spielberg's West Side Story?
The West Side Story one, and that was that kind of I was kind of sad about that one.
Because
And I
I like musicals. I liked it, even though he moved the songs around, which changes the narrative in a way, which is like why we change the order of the songs, but whatever. Um, I don't think that movie made a lot of money, but did Variety praise it?
no. So they went why Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, and this was written by Rebecca Rubin, so it's written by her
Okay.
there.
All right.
Hit the wrong box
Just
office.
making sure. Just making sure
Well,
because
it does have Latino people in it, so maybe that that was the thing.
that's
Didn't have a
true.
lot
Yeah,
of-
that'll
Didn't
do
have-
it. That'll do it.
but I don't know. I'm not saying the woman racist. I don't know the woman like
No,
that.
yeah, but like an original film that like bends genres and blends genres, 60 million opening, that's a success. That's a good thing, and like it's projecting to do well the next weekend as well
Yeah.
because
Uh,
Minecraft is a family movie. That's why it's doing so well. It's a family movie and the kids like Minecraft, but like this is a rated R movie for adults, and it's making a lot of money because word of mouth. We're telling
hmm,
people, hey, it's really good. Go see it, and they are.
yeah. So yeah. Go see Sinners, everybody. I'm gonna go see it for a second time. Are you gonna see it maybe a third time? Hat trick.
Sure. Have you seen it in IMAX?
I first saw it in IMAX. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, if you can see it in IMAX, there, I think I recommend that there. And yeah, and this movie even made cinema score history, as Chris was talking about before. Yeah, Ryan Coogler makes cinema score history with an A rating
Yeah.
there. So you had that kind of going on. Yeah, Sinners, yeah, has achieved a cinema score first for any horror movie in the 47-year history of the organization. Highest cinema score grade ever received by an R-rated original horror film. So yeah. So
Cinema
congrats,
score to receive.
yeah, cinema score,
It,
cinema there.
it's that it surpassed Jordan Peele's Get Out. Get Out had an A minus.
Mm.
Mm. And everyone's you know everyone's like, have you seen any memes about like Ryan Coogler versus Jordan right now?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, there's I've seen some funny ones like um oh, I took a rap song that everyone knew and I made it scary, like no one's beating that, and then it cuts to Ryan's like, have y'all seen an Irishman dance? And then like that's yeah. So I'm not comparing them. I think they're both great, and clearly Jordan has made his success. He's now stepping behind the camera as a producer more than directing stuff, which is fine. But yeah, Sinners is fantastic, and Ryan Coogler has proven like even Wakanda Forever, his lowest rated film is 84%.
Mm.
Right, for those of you who care about Rotten Tomatoes, his worst film is at 84%.
Yeah. congratulations, much success to them. Love the press tour they've been doing there. Love the interviews there. Just them talking about film, talking about the making of the film there. If you're a film nerd,
Yeah,
uh,
different formats, actually holding film and looking at it and like, explaining um like yeah, everything.
yeah. So shout out
Watch the 10-minute video. It's worth it.
absolutely.
Ryan explains everything and he makes it understandable.
Mm,
And I did not go to film school, so
awesome. Yeah, makes it accessible, makes it fun. There to learn about film, know about film. Um, yeah, awesome. So can't sing the movie's praises enough. Shout out to Sinners there. Even Haley Steinfeld's husband, Josh Allen, even he loved it. Even he was a fan. He was like, man,
yeah, he said it's the way he sleeps at night is it's a different world. uh, and she really shines in it, so you should go see it. It's a different world, a very cool experience. It's a fantastic movie. Go watch it.
yeah, he's like, yeah,
Uh,
some of my family members wore those robes. Go see it. It's very historical, man.
oh my goodness, that's so
uh,
funny.
yeah, so awesome stuff there. I don't know. That's tough though. I don't know if I'd be able to. So I know it's acting, but damn, I was like, this is too much chemistry going on here. This is too hot,
I
man.
mean, spoiler alert: she wasn't naked.
Yeah,
She
she
was
wasn't.
she wasn't naked,
Yeah,
but there was movement. There was
yeah.
movement.
I mean, it was sexy, man. It was chemistry.
There was there was a love scene. There was,
Yeah. So
but
yeah, that is,
she was clothed. She was clothed. It's not Euphoria, you know.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I haven't seen Euphoria.
there's a lot of nudity. It's no you for. It's not a lot of gratuitous nudity or anything like that.
Yeah, I heard Euphoria is like it's like rated R Degrassi.
Yeah, pretty much. It's got
Yeah, but yeah, Sinners and all of its success. Ryan Coogler. Whatever he does next, absolutely. Finish the Black Panther trilogy and then walk away from franchises. Do your original stuff. And Michael B. Jordan, he's only getting better. I'm so close to putting him on the same tier as certain certain actors. Just if he can do this one more time, a hat trick, right? Killmonger, Sinners, because Smoke and Stack. It's two roles, but
mm.
it's a dual role. He's playing twins, but and he does it really well. But
I thought you did
yeah,
really great at Creed. I thought you did really
Creed, yeah, Creed's also really good. But I feel like Creed for something about Creed, a movie I love. It felt really. I felt like maybe I could be wrong about this. For me, watching it, he didn't have to stretch.
great. Okay.
I feel like Adonis Creed is maybe close to home for him, and he doesn't really need to transform himself too much for that role. Whereas Killmonger is a villain, um, with his own moral code, but he's a villain, and he did things and said things, changed his voice a little bit, physicality,
Mm.
facial expressions. And as Killmonger, he did things I didn't think I never saw him do before, and I was like, wow, like you transformed yourself. And then here in Sinners, he transformed himself. I'm like, yeah, this is so not you. This is so outside of yourself, and that's what I'm waiting to see. Um, Same thing with Chalamet. I haven't I was not I wasn't on the Chalamet train for a long time. Beautiful Boy, Call Me by Your Name. Like is he really great just because he can cry on camera like really well, or like it wasn't until honestly Dune and um, A Complete Unknown where I thought Timothy Chalamet did step outside of himself, and but that's just me. Some people have loved him for a very long time. For me just now I'm like, there it is. I think, yeah, yeah,
That
but that's
was
just me.
that was Sinners. All
Go see
right.
Sinners. Go see Sinners.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So head out of here. Thank you so much. Thank you for helping me out, Chris. Much appreciated, man. As always, got to have you back. Got to do the Goofy movie, Goofy documentary that's on Disney Plus as well. Love to have you on for that. Actually, I don't. Have I seen the Goofy movie before? I think I have. I think I did watch it way back when I was a kid. I think I did watch
I hope so.
it. Yeah, I think I did.
It's the blackest movie ever made.
you know, uh,
Oh man,
it's just been a minute. It's been a minute. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so it's been a long time there.
I, was that Atlanta season 3 or 4? I think it was season 3.
Twilight Zone season,
The Goofy documentary.
the goof who sat at the door or something. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
crazy, crazy.
But Chris, let people know about you, man. What you got going on coming up next? All that good stuff, man.
Thanks again for having me. I am Chris once again. The Black Stubs. You can follow us Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. The next thing I talk about will be Star Wars: Return of the Sith, and probably after that will be Thunderbolts from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
All right. Next stream wise, I don't know. Maybe Nick. I don't know if he'll probably do a stream tomorrow. But he'll probably post it on social medias there. He'll probably do the accountant too, and then some other stuff there. But I won't be. I'll be gone for a couple of weeks there, for about 20 days, and then so we won't do a stream until then. And then we'll review a boatload of stuff there while I'm gone. Stuff like the Thunderbolts, which is a big movie coming out. Stuff like the accountant. Stuff like Until Dawn. Everything like that. But I'll go ahead and rate Cosmopolitics. She's on right now. Great streamer. Has been on the stream plenty of times before. She just joined us. She did the Revenge review there, the Colleen Challenger movie there. All right. Sent her over here. Very great stuff there, people. Yeah. Thanks to everybody out there. Thanks to Chris again. All right, everybody. Stay tuned.